15 laps for the OKN Junior Final, 20.5 kilometre race distance is ahead. The second row of the grid also is going to be joined by Toby Gale, driver from Thailand. Again, a very well-known driver in the world of international karting. Third and fourth place in those qualifying heats. Certainly did deliver. There he is, getting himself primed, ready to go ahead of this one. Always a nice smile on his face here. Yes, the camera's coming over, Toby. Give us a nice smile and a thumbs up. Perfect. There you go. But there's a look at his results. Qualified 11th, so not the best qualifying, but third and fourth certainly brought it back in those qualifying heats. So he knows how to pedal around the circuit. He's delivered good results. Be curious to see how he can do then from the second row of the grid, because this time around it's going to be a little bit easier to get it started. The third row of the grid, though, another very competitive row there. You've got Casper, and all the way throughout this one, these drivers have had to really dig deep here. But like we say, the championship has opened up just that little bit more. Anagnostiadis with those 464 is in control. As the whistle blows, engines fire up. Drivers will make their way for their formation laps. Let's take you through that full starting lineup for the first final of the 5th round of the Champs of the Future Academy program. It is James Anagnostiadis starting it on pole position. We'll have Leonidas Peruzzi for company alongside Daniel Kelleher and Toby Gale on row 2. They'll have Casper Reipold and Vanessa Schilkenet on row 3. William Marshall and Egon Prodotti go from row number 4. They'll have Nathan Kappen and Nicholas Stanley on row 5. Mitanch Jain and Connor Clancy go from row 6. Oscar Gallen and Matthias Wittfer on row 7. They'll have Didier Krieft and Ella Hakkinen on row 8. Axel Nocom and Sujana Dandu go from row 9. They'll have Victoria Farfus and Marcel Scapella on row 10. They round out the top 20. Aryan Singh and Zachariah Dole on row 11. They'll have Amelia Veshamirska and Veer Chopra on row 12. Angelina Simmons and Dinia Islamov go from row 13. They'll have Xavier Dudkovsky and Maxim Bobrozov on row 14. Karine Kaur and Vera Jurland on row 15. Sanjana Dandu will round out the 31 kart field on row 16, all by herself there. The previous race winners over the course of this one: Cremona in Italy, Casper Reipold and Ella Hakkinen; Valencia, James Anagnostiadis and Toby Gale; Franciacorta, Matthias Wittfer, and once again James Anagnostiadis. That second final win put him in the championship lead. Dubai as well was another interesting weekend as well. Maxim Bobrozov and Connor Clancy totaling 7 different final winners over the course of this season. Will it be an 8th different final winner at the end of this one in the form of Leonidas Peruzzi? Or will it be a repeat of James Anagnostiadis? Could he claim his 3rd final win of the season in a lane? We are moments away from finding out. Drivers making their way towards turn 13. They will hit the red line from there. No overtaking is permitted. They should be in 2x2 side-by-side rolling formation. They will slow down to that now. There you can see James Anagnostiadis is backing the pack up just that little bit now as they enter into that final corner. This is turn 14 as they enter onto the start-finish straight. We look good. We look ready to go racing. Are we going to go green in towards turn 1? Yes, we are. The finals are underway. Down in towards turn number 1. And there's contact. And there's a huge moment into the barrier. And Marshall is one of them. William Marshall into the wall. There's others involved as well. There's 3 other karts involved out there. The 57's off the track. That's been disastrous there for the rest of the field. But so many drivers getting involved in that incident that are all front runners as well. So, Peruzzi was one of them. Leonidas Peruzzi, he will not have that chance. He's out of this race. Kelleher managed to squeeze his way through. Toby Gale got caught out. Vanessa Schilkenet got caught out. Marshall, we saw him, and Egon Prodotti all getting caught out. And it was Veer Chopra as well getting caught out. And there you can see Marshall and Egon Prodotti talking to each other. Yellow flags are out. We're under slow procedure. So the race has been neutralized. The drivers have seen that now as they've approached the start-finish line. But that is a scary moment down in towards turn 1. course, drivers reaching the highest speeds out there, and there's more coming together there. as well on track. That's gone terribly wrong for Angelina Simmons and for the likes of Zaviev Dudkovsky. They are out of this race as well. And that into the final corner. So that's a very unusual one because they were under, I believe, slow procedure at that point. But they've had it coming together there. So that's a very interesting place for that to happen. And how did it happen? Oh, yeah, so Angelina Simmons had slowed down. Zaviev Dudkovsky was still going at full pace there. And, well, Angelina Simmons will throw hands up and say, hey, I was slowing down for the slow procedure. But here we go. What happened here? So there was a little bit of contact there between, I think, so that was Marshall had made initial contact with, I think, Leonidas Peruzzi. Now, Peruzzi went up in the air. That slowed him down. Here it is again from another angle. Or they just disappear behind the sign there. Yeah, so Peruzzi, I think, was the initial contact there. He went off into the barriers. And then, well, it all went Pitong there. No idea if that's just a racing incident. You can't really tell who's at fault on that one because I think it was just too many into one. But a very scary moment there and so many drivers out on that opening lap. That gives an opportunity then for drivers behind who managed to squeeze their way through to gain those positions. And that's what we're seeing here. We've got multiple drivers who have gained many positions. Sanjana Dandu is the driver who's gained the most, 13 places in that opening lap before the slow procedure had come out. So a very strong start there, but Anagnosiadis has managed to hold his position. He's fine and clear at the moment, but Daniel Keller has managed to squeeze through into second place. Reipold is still there third, Kapin in fourth, Stanley in fifth at the moment. Bitanch Jain has gained 5 places, is there in P6. Oscar Gallin in 7th place, Connor Clancy in 9th, Didier Kreeft in Connor Clancy in 8th, sorry, Didier Kreeft in 9th, and Aryan Singh rounding out the top 10 before the slow procedure had came out. So that means there's an almighty amount of drivers out of this race, and let's go through that list of drivers who are out of this race to confirm. Leonidas Peruzzi, who was starting on the front row of the grid, is out. Toby Gale, who was on the second row of the grid, is out. Vanessa Shilkinator also out of the race. William Marshall, Egon Pedrotti, Veer Chopra, Angelina Simmons and Zaviev Dudkovsky are all out of this race in 2 separate incidents out there. The one at before turn 1 and, of course, one into turn 14 as well. Static yellow flags. This means that I think we're ready for a restart here towards turn 1. So who's going to get the jump? Who's going to get the whole shot in towards turn 1? We go green and racing once more. And down in towards turn 1, Anagnosiadis holds on to that lead. He keeps Daniel Keller at bay as this time they are single file going through turn number 1. Makes it a little bit easier for the drivers to maintain track position. Down in towards turn number 2 now they go in towards that infield sector. We're already starting to see moves here behind. Nathan Kappen trying to capitalise in this early stage, trying to move up into third, but it's not worked out for him. He stays there in P4. Action further behind as well. It looked like Didier Kreeft pulling out of the slipstream, trying to go for the move in the background. We're side by side again once more for 4th place, but at this time it looks like it's Nicola Stanley trying to get the move done, and it's all gone Pitong there. And who's gone backwards? And that's not gone well at all. Now that was the Stanley and Kappen battle, but I think it may have been Nathan Kappen who got caught out there. We'll have to see what happens when the next cross another timing beam. Back with the front though, Anagnosiadis looking comfortable at the front here. He is breaking away. He has opened up a gap now of 4/5 of a second between himself and Daniel Kelleher. As down the inside here looks Bitanch Jain, and he gets up into now. That's a little further up, so he's gained a fair few places actually in this one, has Bitanch Jain. He's gained up into P4 now, so this is a brilliant, brilliant race for the driver of the number 58. But there at the front, Anagnosiadis, he's got the clean air. He's got no drama around him right now. He's extending that gap. It's nearly at 0.7 of a second right now. But the battle behind, that's the interesting one. That's the one that we need to keep an eye on because it's changed once again. Reipold has got himself up into second place past Daniel Kelleher, and he moves down into 3rd place. All of them running a little wide there at the exit of turn at number 12 as they head down in towards 13. That's a huge send down the inside from Nicola Stanley, and Stanley gets up into 3rd place. That was a huge send in towards turn 13. You can see the bumps that they have to drive over on that start-finish straight, as again, back down the inside, Connor Clancy making the moves, and Clancy is certainly making the moves, not only on track, but in the championship as well, as with his positioning right now, he moves past William Marshall, and he steps up to third in the championship standings as he breaks away in this one. We are on lap 6 at the moment, and once again, Anagnostiadis is breaking away from the rest of the field. This is how Kasper Reipold got the move done for second place earlier on. Down the inside, getting past Daniel Kelleher. And there's the move again from Nicola Stanley on Kelleher, and that put him right on the rear point now, because then that caused the field behind to all bunch up there. And again, big send under braking. And everyone just trying to hold on to position. And that's Connor Clancy continuing to push through this field right now. Arnian Singh is impressing. It's currently up to 8th place, 13 places gained, as this is still kicking off here as well. Now everyone's trying to get involved in this fight. Daniel Kelleher fighting back, going absolutely wheel to wheel there with Nicola Stanley, getting back up into 3rd place now, and up to 2nd place actually, because Mitansh Jain's gone to 4th. Connor Clancy there in 2nd. Reipold's gone to 6th place now. So the driver had got up into 2nd place now, starting to get on that back foot now, falling away. And all the meanwhile, Anagnostiadis has broken away. That gap now 2 full seconds out there. He has got no competition. That's no disregard to the other drivers. He's just had the clear track. He's not had to defend. He's not had to worry about anything else apart from just focusing on that racing line. This battle here, though, is just going to keep increasing that gap, not only in the championship, but out on track as well. Kelleher, Stanley, and Mitansh Jain still absolutely line astern right now as they head in towards turn number 2. Oh, big step of oversteer there under braking for Nicola Stanley. Just tries to hold on to it, does manage to hold on to it. That was a very shaky one there, and again, Mitansh Jain just looking to the inside, did not get the exit. Now is going to be under pressure again from Kasper Reipold. Reipold is going to try and find his way back through this field. Now he's already got back up to P5, so his original starting spot. He is still stuck behind Mitansh Jain right now, and he's got the pressure of Connor Clancy and Nathan Kappen, who is right behind. They have all gained positions in this race, but Connor Clancy is going to be a driver to really keep an eye on in this one. 6 places gained. He has certainly made his way through the field. In fact, I think he's made another one now as he's going wheel to wheel with the rest here. But Reipold's got his way through now. Reipold has got up into P4 now as they push on down towards turn 1. It's a long stretch down to turn 1. And all these drivers just trying to eke out as much as they can in this tight and twisty section. This is where these races are won and lost. Of course, those little fractions of a second lost here or there could mean the difference of having that slipstream or not on these long straights. There, the weekend results between the top 2 in this race. They've been near on identical, but Anagnostiadis has just been on point in this one. First in qualifying, first in Heat 2, second in Heat 1, versus Kelleher's second, 4th, and the rest as well. But certainly these 2 drivers have delivered. Just a case to see whether or not he can close that gap up. It's up again, 2.3 seconds between the top 2, and it's going to be even more now because a change for second. Nicola Stanley down the inside, outbrakes himself though, and is under pressure once more from Kelleher. Not enough though, and Stanley holds on to P2 and continues this second place battle all the way throughout. They know they're not going to catch up to Anagnostiadis. He's clear and dry at the front of this one, and he's going to claim another 50 championship points at the end of this one, at the end of this race. But that gap just continues to increase even more. But Stanley, Kelleher, Reipold, Clancy, Kappen, all in there. But Stanley runs wide, and through goes Kelleher. Kelleher now going wheel to wheel with Kasper Reipold, who's back up into 3rd place now. Reipold on the recovery drive here after that moment. And you can see there his mechanic just saying, think to Daniel Kelleher, focus and go. Focus and go. Don't start battling away. Don't start going defensive lines. Here we go. That was Victoria Farfus down the inside. She's just got past Nathan Kaplan as well. She's moved herself up inside the top 10, and she's up into P9 now. Again, a good drive from one of the Discovery Drive Initiative drivers out there. But some top talent from all the way around the globe racing, as Oscar Gallin sets the fastest lap of the race, 55.784 now. Pushing his way through the field. Gallin currently in 17th place right now. He's dropped down in this order. He's still looking very strong in terms of positioning. The stats between Stanley and Kelleher at the moment, you can see a drastic difference in time qualifying. Nicholas Stanley, who's currently in 4th place now, certainly has delivered over the course of this one. This is Kelleher's second, his 4th is second as well. So it's been a tough day for Reipold. There is Casper Reipold's results. 6th, 5th, 6th, currently 3rd in this. So again, has been on and around par, these two drivers. But, right now, there's two going wheel to wheel. They've swapped positions constantly throughout this race. Are we going to see some more here? Daniel Kelleher has the chance now to try and close up a 3.1 second gap. The problem is they're on lap 12 of 15. There is not enough time to close that gap, and it continues to stay the same. They're matching now the pace of Anagnostiadis in the lead. They're not bettering the pace, which means that gap is not closing. It is now just in limbo. So the gap's not going to come down anymore. But here, though, Daniel Kelleher, it's all down to him here. If he can hold off Casper Reipold. Reipold, though, has delivered. He knows this track very well, and he's got that fight there, and the fight behind is still kicking off as well in the meanwhile. Stanley, Singh, Clancy, and Mitansh Jain, they're still battling away as well. Kaplan still involved in that battle. Victoria Farfus is starting to close in on it as well. Axel Nocom there. Dia Kreeft, Zachariah Dole, Matej Vitva, Oscar Gallin, and Marcel Capella running at the top 15 right now. But eyes focus on this second place battle as Kelleher continues to set that fastest lap of the race. 55.626, a very quick and competitive time. Trying to close in, that was Aryan Singh going for the move on Nicholas Stanley. That was at turn 1. And Aryan Singh now up 17 places into that position. An absolutely superb drive from Aryan Singh in this one. Changes though, because here now defensive lines from Kelleher. The race is getting to a conclusion here, and these two now swapping places once again. Reipold initially for a brief moment up to second, but Kelleher takes it back to the fight here, as again the gap just increases now. 3.4 seconds clear. Here was the move from Reipold into turn 13. And there again, it's just a carbon copy of what we've seen time in and time out so far this weekend. You get that long push down the 187-meter back straight. There was Kelleher reclaiming that move. Once again, Reipold going for the move at turn 13. That is where he knows that Kelleher is weak, but Kelleher will fight back towards turn 1. Reipold to the inside as we go on to the final lap now. Kelleher's going to try and get the switch back here. It's not going to be close enough for it. Down into the braking zone, into turn 2. Reipold, crucially, doesn't go defensive there. Doesn't feel like he needs to go defensive. Not many overtakes have happened at turn number 2. We've seen many here at turn 6, but this time around again, no defensive line. He will sweep to the inside here, though. He'll watch the inside line towards turn 7 and 8. Kelleher's chances of getting back into P2 are getting very slim now, but he's going down the inside of the exit of turn 10, and he's managed to get it done in towards turn 11. Absolutely superb, but Reipold has been going for the moves at turn 13. Reipold once again is going to go for it here, but he's been squeezed to the outside. Kelleher will hold on to the inside line. James Anagnostiadis is going to take the checker flag. He'll increase his championship win. He will claim the win, but who's going to get second place across the line? That's going to be the question. It will be Daniel Kelleher across the line, clear by less than 1/10 of a second, and Reipold is exhausted after that one. His head falls into his hands, and he says, I nearly had second place there. But third place is still a brilliant result, and Reipold holds on to second in the championship. But Daniel Kelleher, it's his first appearance as well, so he's not in that championship fight, but he is certainly putting in the work here. This was that moment of the final lap. There was Raipold down the inside, so he actually got the move done, but it was the run to the line, and that run to the line just went to Daniel Kelleher across the line. Well, drivers make their way back into Parc Ferme. Imagine there's a bit of a clean-up job after this one, after that first initial incident at turn 1. But there's a look at your full results. Anagnostiades from Daniel Kelleher, Raipold from Nicholas Stanley, Connor Clancy from Nathan Cappen, Aryan Singh from Mitansh Jain, Victoria Farfus finishing in 9th place. Yeah, best results in a final this season.